Hi there, everybody. I think we're live. Welcome. My name is Rose. I'm one of the teachers over at EkhartYoga. Yes, we're live. I can see myself. Perfect. It's so good to have you here. Welcome to this quick little Vinyasa for Beginners live stream class. We are doing this to welcome you all to our Vinyasa for Beginners program. And really what that program is about showing you that Vinyasa Yoga can be very accessible and it's really for everybody. I know that it's very easy to become intimidated when you want to get started with yoga because literally if you type yoga into Google Images, you're going to find people in handstands, in perfect splits, in all kind of acrobatic poses, and you might think, oh my God, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. And then unfortunately, many people think that that is yoga and they never try. And that's really a pity because yoga truly is for everybody. Whatever your experience level is, whatever your age is, whatever your body is like, there is a form of yoga that will really suit you. And there's a form of Vinyasa Yoga that will really suit you. So what we're going to do today is a little bit of an introduction to our 6-week program. I filmed it over on the EkhartYoga website. And it's 6 weeks where we cover the basis of a Vinyasa Yoga practice in a very sort of slow, easy to follow, steady way with variations for your body, variations for any injuries you might have. We go over the breathing techniques, all of these kinds of things. And really all Vinyasa Yoga means is that we're synchronizing movement with our breath. So that can be very simple and very, very accessible. So the program itself is on EkhartYoga. So it's not on YouTube, it's on EkhartYoga.com. The links for that are in the description box. We start there on March the 1st. You can take it all at your own pace. And if you are not a member yet, or you're not a member at all, you can even take up a 2-week free trial and try out the program in your 2 free weeks. So everybody really and truly is welcome and able to join this program. If you have any questions now or during the practice or that pop up afterwards about poses, about your practice, anything at all, feel free to type it in the description box. I have a laptop here so that I can see your questions later, and I will get to them probably after the class. I think it'd be distracting if I was looking at the screen the whole time. For now, we're going to jump into our practice. We're going to have about 20 minutes, so not too long, but just to get a taste. You're not going to need anything except some comfy clothes, something soft, maybe a mat or even a carpet to practice on. And maybe it might be nice to sit up on something for our centering in the beginning. And you don't have to have a professional yoga anything. If you have a block or a cushion, you can grab it. Otherwise, a pillow from your couch or a blanket works just fine. So let's get into our practice. We're going to start in a comfortable seat, which sometimes in yoga means sitting cross-legged like I am now. You'll sometimes see the lotus pose with the feet folded over, but you really don't need to do that. You're also free to sit on your heels if that works better for you for your knees. And you can also sit up on something, either cross-legged or on the knees, so that your hips are a little bit more lifted. And for many people, that makes it easier to sit up with a tall spine, because that's the one thing that we really do want to create is a tall spine. So come and sit down in any of these ways that suits you. And I'd like you to have a moment to wiggle around so that you really feel your sit bones on the floor. You can have your hands just relaxed in your lap. And have a moment to roll your shoulders up and down and back. And just do that a few times, especially if you've been sitting all day. And letting that movement already bring you a little bit more into your body. And eventually your shoulders slide down along your back. And you lengthen your spine, lift from the crown of your head, and close your eyes when you're ready. And now we come into the most important part of yoga, which really isn't a pose at all, but which is about turning inward. Turning your awareness inward from whatever it is that you have been doing today that's going on for you, that's happening later, letting all of that rest, and instead taking all your attention into this exact moment and into your body. And the only thing that you need to do for that is feel. Feel the way that your bum and your hips are on the floor. Feel your belly and your chest moving gently as you breathe. Your arms and shoulders relaxed. And even relax your neck, your head, and your face. Soften up those jaw muscles and your eyes. And then we come back to just gently observing our breathing. Like I said, Vinyasa Yoga really is just moving to the breath. So to move with the breath, we need to be aware of our breath. Watch your inhale as it flows in through the nose and expands your lungs and your belly. And watch your exhale as it empties and your navel draws gently back in towards the spine. Good. Now we're going to keep that awareness of the breath and gently begin to add a little bit of movement. If you like, you can keep your eyes closed, or if you feel like you need a visual, you can softly blink your eyes open. Releasing your fingertips to the ground next to your hips. As you inhale, reach your arms out wide and up overhead. And on your exhale, draw your palms together in front of your heart. So that's simple, just moving to the breath again. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, come down. See if you can make that movement last the full length of your breath. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, slowly draw down. One more time. Reach those fingertips away and exhale. Take your hands together in front of your heart. You can softly bow your head to your heart here to seal in your practice. And then as you inhale, lift your gaze and gently blink open your eyes. Good. We're going to add some more to that. Inhale again. Reach your arms out up and over and wide. And now as you exhale, I'm going to mirror you. You take your right fingertips towards the ground, reach your left arm up, and just bend a little bit over towards your right. As you inhale, come out of the pose a little bit. Take the spine back through center. And as you exhale, fold again towards your right. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. So you're stretching through the left side of your body. Reach the fingertips away. Now inhale, come back up, take both of your arms up, and as you exhale, bend towards your left. Left fingertips reach for the ground, lengthen through the right side of your body. Inhaling to come back up. Exhale to bend down. One more time like that. Inhale, lift, and exhale, bend. Wonderful. Come back up to neutral as you inhale. And now we're going to come to hands and knees. So this is our tabletop position where we have our hands underneath your shoulders. You want to really spread those fingers wide, press all your finger pads into the ground, and your knees are underneath your hips, about hip distance apart, and your toes can be relaxed here. Try to press up a little bit in between the shoulder blades and gently draw your belly button slightly in towards the spine so that you create a nice steady core and a relatively flat back. Now from there, as you inhale, you're going to arch your back, lift your tailbone up, let the lower belly come down and open the chest, lift your gaze, lift your chin. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, let that movement ripple through the spine. Belly button pulls in towards the spine, and you round up, press up in between the shoulder blades. This is called cat-cow, super common, nearly every yoga practice has it. And we keep going on the breath. So inhale, open through the front of the body, lift the gaze, look up. And as you exhale, round through the spine. We're going to do this 3 more times. A really wonderful movement to open up the back, to stretch through the front of the body as well. And great if you have any back issues, or if, like nearly all of us right now, you're sitting down a lot. Wonderful. Now, on our next exhale, we're going to round the spine again, and now pull our hips back to our heels for child's pose. Some of you, the hips won't reach the heels. That's fine. You could always place something underneath the hips. And if you have it available, you can bring your forehead towards the floor or fold your lower arms one over the other. Rest your forehead down. This child's pose is a beautiful place where you can always come to rest in any vinyasa practice. You'll often hear teachers in live classes saying that you could always break in a child's pose. So this is a good one to know. Take one more deep breath here. Let your arms and your shoulders relax. And then as you inhale next, we're going to come back up to hands and knees. Take your hands slightly further forward. And now we're going to take our hips forward, bend through the elbows, and lower onto our belly to practice one of the other super common poses in a vinyasa flow, which is a cobra pose. So slide your hands underneath your shoulders, keep your elbows in close to the body, press the tops of the feet down to the floor, activate a little through the legs, and press the hips down as you lift your belly button up a little bit. Now use your back muscles and a little bit of your arm strength to inhale and lift up your chest. Doesn't have to be high, can be low like me. Roll your shoulders down and back, keep them away from the ears, lengthen through the front of the neck. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you gently roll all the way back down. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift, maybe press a little more into the hands, but keep those elbows hugged in nice and tight. Looking up, exhale, roll down. One more time, maybe even higher this time, but keep it at a height that's comfortable for your spine. This again happens in nearly every vinyasa class. And exhale, gently come down. Now press into your hands and come over the knees. And now tuck your toes underneath. Have your hands slightly further in front of your shoulders. We're going to come towards our down dog. So for many of you, it won't be the first. For some of you, it might. In which case, you're really spreading your fingers, pressing down. Inhale here. And now as you exhale, you're going to imagine your tailbone, your hips being pulled up and back by a string. And your spine lengthens and your legs lengthen. And there you are in your downward facing dog. So you might have your knees very bent here. We're going to go through the alignment of this pose because this happens very often in a Vinyasa Yoga class. Your hands are at least as wide as your shoulders. Your fingers are spread and every single finger is pressing into the mat. So if I were to try and come by and pick up your fingers in a real life class, I wouldn't be able to. Then you're going to turn your upper arms in slightly so you're broadening through your shoulder blades. And you let your head and neck rest and hang down in between your arms. Then you're going to draw your front ribs. So don't do this, but I'm just doing this to show you. These lower ribs, the muscles in the upper part of your abdomen, draw that slightly in. Draw your belly button into your spine and lengthen your back. So you're reaching your tailbone and your sit bones up and backward, and then the legs come after that. So more important to have a long spine. You could have a bend in your knees if that helps you to keep your back nice and long, or you can keep your legs straight if that's available to you. Eventually, you might see that some people bring their heels in the direction of the floor, but you really don't have to. Your heels can definitely be off of the floor. Good. Now, from here, we're going to come towards a lunge. So as you inhale, lift your right leg just a little bit up, just to mobilize that leg. Doesn't have to be very high. And as you exhale, you step your right foot forward in between your hands. Now, that can be very tricky in the beginning, so you can also use your hand and help it forward. And you lower your left knee gently down. Here we are in a low lunge. Now you're going to press into your feet, especially in the big toe on the right foot, and imagine pulling your inner thighs towards each other. As you inhale now, come up with your arms and bring your chest more or less over your hips in a low lunge. Take a big inhale here and a full exhale. Let your shoulders drop down. Engage the belly a little bit. We'll have one more full breath. Inhale here and exhale fully. One more inhale. Maybe open the heart a little bit as you look up. And as you exhale, land your hands next to your front foot with your back toes tucked. Lift up your back knee. And now see if you can step that right foot backwards in down dog. And if that's difficult or if it's hard to do that in a supple way, don't worry, that will get better. And we also have variations in our program. Good. Now as you inhale, take your left leg slightly up. Again, doesn't have to be much, but just mobilize that left foot. And as you exhale, either step or help your left foot forward between your hands and lower your right knee down. As you inhale, come up again, reach through the arms. Remember, press into both of your feet to keep your balance. And imagine that you're squeezing the inner thighs towards the midline. And if you're wobbly, also try to glue your eyes to one steady point across from you to help with any of the balance issues. Inhale, really open through the heart here, lengthen up your fingertips, and exhale, stay. Good, one more inhale. And as you exhale, take your hands down to the floor, pick up your back knee. Now this time, we're going to step our right foot forward to meet the left. So we're standing here in our forward fold. Your knees can be super bent. And don't worry if that was an awkward transition for you. Again, it will get better. And now here, as you inhale, you're going to take your hands either to your thighs or somewhere on the legs or even fingertips to the floor. Inhale and lengthen through your back. So you want your whole back body to be a bit like a table, nice and strong and flat. You could put something on there. And remember, your neck is a part of your spine. So you're looking towards the floor. You're not cranking your neck up like this. Inhale here. And as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Now you can bend your knees a little or a lot, and as you inhale, come all the way up to standing. Roll back your shoulders. Now we're going to practice for a moment our mountain pose. This is one of the basics that we do in each vinyasa flow in between our flows. So you want to have either your big toes together or your feet a little bit further apart but parallel. Then you're going to lift up a little through the inner ankles and lift your kneecaps, activate your thighs, draw your tailbone slightly under and lift through the lower belly. Draw your navel in and up. You want to have your heart over your hips and your hips over your heels. Your shoulders are rolled down and back, your chest is open, and you can take your arms by your side with your hands facing forward. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and feel for a moment yourself here standing solid and balanced and strong. This is the basis from which we flow our mountain pose. Very grounding place to be. Good. Stay where you are. I'm just going to step to the top of my mat. Now from here, as we inhale, we're going to reach those arms up and over again, just like we did sitting. And now as you exhale, bend your knees a little bit and leading with the heart, hinge forward, come into your forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, find that half lift again. Hands either on the thighs or fingertips to the floor. And as you exhale, fold forward. This is a half sun salutation. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up, out, and wide. And exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold all the way down. Now, from our forward fold, bend your knees a little bit so you can place your hands down. We're going to step back one more time into our downward facing dog. Lengthen out the whole body here. Normally in our Vinyasa practice, we would go through different flows and a lot more standing poses. But for now, we're going to gently, on your next exhale, bring your knees down to the floor. So you're back in your tabletop. And then from your tabletop, take a seated position. And you can extend your legs out in front of you. So again, normally a lot more standing poses, but this is just a bit of a taste so that you know what you could expect. Extend your legs out in front of you and activate your feet. So point your toes up towards the ceiling. Lift up so much through the kneecaps that you could almost lift up your heels, so your legs are very active. Then you want to also activate the upper body, so your belly is engaged, your back muscles are engaged, and your shoulders are down and back. From here, as you inhale, reach up your arms, and you'll notice that this is a strong pose already called staff pose. Even being here for a few breaths can be quite strong. And this is our starting point for many seated poses. So inhale here. And now as you exhale, you're going to fold forward with a long back, hinging from the hips. You can pause once you reach your sort of natural point. Then inhale there, find more length again. And this is an active pose. I can really feel my back muscles. And exhale, bend forward again. See how far you come. Inhale again, you find that length. And exhale, you bend. You can bring your hands to the floor. Now bear in mind, your forward fold might be just coming a few inches forward, and you might also have your knees bent. You don't need to be folded completely in half, right? So don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like you need to become a pretzel. You just want to feel a stretch in the backs of your legs and maybe even through the back of your body. On your next inhale, gently come back up through center. Now you can stay as you are. I'm going to turn to show you something. We're going to take our right knee in and place it to the outside of our left thigh. Left toes are still pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Now take your right fingertips behind your hips, and as you inhale, reach the left arm up into the sky. As you exhale, you can wrap your left lower arm around your right knee and twist over towards your right. So I'll show you from the side again. And now as you inhale, lengthen your back a little bit more, and as you exhale, twist just a little bit deeper, looking over your right shoulder. And so in this way, even in a pose that seems relatively static, we can still move to the breath. Inhaling, we find length, and exhaling, we twist open. Have one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, you can look forward again. And exhale, gently turn your whole upper body forward. Extend your right leg out in front of you. From there, draw your left knee in towards you and place your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Remember, the right toes are still activated. Inhale, lift your left arm up, and exhale, place your fingertips behind you. Then inhale, reach your right arm, and exhale, either hug your knee in, or you could even hook the elbow for a slightly deeper twist. And we stay here in our twist for a few breaths. As you inhale, you lengthen. As you exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. We do 2 more breaths here like this. Remember to keep the shoulders away from the ears and keep that length in the spine. And if you ever need to bend your bottom knee or anything like that, that's always perfect. Good. On your next inhale, you can look forward again. And as you exhale, you can gently release both of your legs. And you might feel now in your spine and in your upper body that there's a little bit of a twist being going on. Now we're going to take both of our feet together and bend the knees out to the side for a butterfly pose. Again, a really, really common one to do at the beginning or end of a practice. Very nice for the inner thighs and for the outer hips. So you draw your feet in together, a little bit of space between your hips and your feet. And your knees can also be up here, so you don't need to have your knees all the way onto the floor. Now as you inhale, find some lift and lengthening through the top of your body, the front of your body. And as you exhale, fold forward. And again, maybe that just means a couple inches. Doesn't have to be far. Again, as you inhale, that length a little bit extra. Engage your body, engage your back muscles, not a passive forward fold. And as you exhale, fold down. A few more breaths here. So what you'll notice in yoga is that some of the same poses we can do either in a passive way, like a yin way, where we would just relax here and let the body hang forward, or we can do it in a dynamic, more vinyasa way, where we keep the body engaged while we fold. They can be the same poses, but a different approach. Good. Have one more breath here. And then as you inhale, gently come back up through center. Help your knees together. And then we come to lie down on our back for the last and ever-present ingredient of a Vinyasa class, which is the Shavasana of any yoga class, really. So for that, you're going to extend your arms and legs. And we're just going to have a short one now, but normally this could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even longer. What we want to do here is close our eyes. Let the arms, the feet, the legs all relax. Maybe take a big breath in through the nose. And maybe a big sigh out through the mouth. And then as you become completely still, notice how even that little bit of movement has created some kind of after effect in your body. There is a tingling going on and a sort of sensation of aliveness. And these moments after class when we rest are really precious and valuable for the nervous system, for the body, for your sense of calm. They're just as important as any other of the movements and poses. So have a few very slow, deep rounds of breath here where I'll be quiet and you're just watching your body and your breath and allowing that to relax you. Beautiful. Now again, normally we'd stay longer, and if you want to stay longer at home, you are very, very welcome to. Otherwise, take a little bit of a deeper breath and wiggle your fingers and toes gently. And on an inhale, take a really big full body stretch. And as you exhale, draw your feet in, your knees in, and roll towards your favorite side. From there, you can help with your top hand to press yourself up, back into the seated position that we started in. And from there, we're going to close our eyes again and bring our palms together in front of our heart. Now, we often end a practice with a moment of gratitude for ourselves and for our body. So see if you can extend that towards yourself, maybe gently or internally saying to yourself, thank you for taking the time to care for your body and your mind, for your body for taking you through life. And thank you for sharing your practice with me. And we often end our practice with a namaste, and we bow forward. And then you can gently come back up to neutral. So thank you all for practicing. If this was maybe your first ever yoga class or your first class in a while, really well done. I'm glad that you are here. Like I said, this is just a little bit of a taste. So in our program, we're going to explore a lot more of the movements, a lot more of the standing poses, a lot more variations and transitions. But really well done here. You've already moved and opened and worked throughout your whole body, the front, the back, the sides, twists. Yeah, so you've touched everything here. So if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm going to look at the chat here, see if there is anything. Hi, Becca. Nice to see you. And hi to everybody who's here, Pauline and DM. Patrick, for the lower back, I feel like this would generally have been relatively easy on the lower back, but it's always a personal thing. So you really always want to keep your awareness in whatever pose or flow that you're doing, so that you notice when something is working for you and when it's hurting you. In general, this would be okay. I would definitely think it's okay to follow the practice for beginners with a sensitive lower back, but staying very mindful of it. And also on the website, we have really a lot of classes specifically for the back, even more therapeutic classes for the back. So you might like to try that one out as well. And then our front bending pose is suitable for a medical name that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Ankylosing spondylitis. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that, patience. To be completely honest, I really don't know what that medical condition is, so I wouldn't be able to say. You can always consult with your doctor. There are some cases when forward bending poses are more difficult, like if you have hypertension, or sometimes if you tend to struggle with a lot of headaches, it might not always be so nice, or different things in the back. So if you really feel like that is a tricky subject for you, then I would suggest seeing your doctor about that, asking that question, because I am not entirely, licensed to give you advice on that. And happy to see you all. Thank you for your messages. If you would like to see more of this program, then you can follow the link in our description box down below. Again, even if you're not a member yet, you can do the 2-week free trial and you'll be able to do them all. There's 6 classes. Everything is built up from the very basic, so even if it's your first time ever doing yoga, you are very welcome to join. And yeah, I hope that helps some of you who are starting out, or even those of you who are more advanced already but would like to get back to basics and recenter yourself again and start the practice up from scratch. So thank you all so much, everybody, for joining. I hope to see you over on Eckhart Yoga, and maybe next time on another live stream or YouTube class. For now, I think I'm going to wish you a very happy evening. And if you have any more comments, you're always welcome to post them in the comments below if you're either watching the after version or if we sign off before you get to type your question. And then either one of our team members or myself can answer your question. So thank you so much, everybody. See you next time. And I hope that you have a lovely evening. And don't feel intimidated to start yoga. Everybody is welcome. Everybody can do it. Bye, guys.